Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be showing you a little bit about how to use the EQ. This is on the SI Impact board. Not all of you have this exact same board, but the concept will be the same whether you have the Impact or the other model that the campuses use. Yeah, let's get started. Okay. Alright, so we're going to look at these knobs first. So this is low frequency, low mid, and high frequency. So these are the ranges of frequencies you're going to be affecting whenever you're messing with the equalizer. Alright, so we're going to look at these three individual knobs that you have for each frequency. So starting at low frequency, this first knob is going to be gain. So if you're trying to push a certain frequency or if you're trying to reduce a certain frequency, that's where you're going to do it from. This is your actual selector. So this is where you're going to select the center frequency that you're affecting. So this isn't necessarily only affecting this one frequency, but it will choose where the center is, and how far you spread it is up to you. So that's what the Q is for. So moving the Q will either narrow or expand how many frequencies you're affecting. And that's the same for every frequency range. So these controls are the same for low, low mid, and high frequency. All right, just keep rolling.
Switching arms.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you so much for doing this.
No, of course.
Okay, let's see. Bass. Cool, there's nothing getting into this. Okay, let's use an example of a bass guitar. So we don't have any audio playing through right now, so you're not going to necessarily be able to hear how this is going to affect it. So to be honest, this is not the most effective way to learn about EQ, because you're really going to want to hear the kind of effects that it's having. I would recommend, just as an engineer at whatever campus, I would recommend just coming in and spending your own time on kind of figuring this out. Maybe have just something playing off the iPod and you can figure out how this kind of affects it. So with a bass, for example, you're going to want to hear like plenty of low end, which we talked about in the philosophy of mixing video, that you really want to be able to like feel things in people's chests. So I'm going to give like the low frequency a little bit of a boost. I'm going to set it to about between the 40 and 80 knob. And then I'm probably going to make it a little bit broad, like that right there. So that's going to give you kind of a nice bump on the low frequency end. So if you go up to the high frequency though, we might want to dip that out a little bit, because like we said, we're going to be wanting hearing all bass. And we talked about filling the different frequency ranges with different sounds. So you know you want the bass to be all low end. So you might be dipping some of that out as well. So this kind of just as an example of what this would sound like, you would hear more of the lower frequencies, specifically between like 40 and 80 hertz, and then you have a pretty big cut on the higher frequencies, so you're just hearing like all bass on that channel. So this is not exactly what your equalizer is going to look like. You have to kind of figure that out by ear, but this is just so you know exactly what you're doing and exactly how to control the equalizer whenever you need to control it. And I hope that helps you guys.